I would say 100% of my clients who have seen amazing results.
Do you want a body like Brad Pitt? I've trained with 9 other coaches before you. You're the 10th.
I'm very proud of my team.
So TYB means Yasir Chapter.
I set goals, I wrote goals, I had a vision. When you started training with me, and you have trained with many trainers as well, what is that one point which you think was very different from our first meeting till today?
I think it's the very first thing that I noticed about you when I met you is that you have commitment, which is, it might sound like, okay, it's a very simple thing, but if you actually look at it, most coaches don't have a commitment, towards their client. On paper, they have a commitment, but it does not come from within, trying your best to improve your client. Most coaches just want, the revenue. They see it as work, right? In your case, you had that commitment towards improving me. And in turn, what I realized is that kind of commitment made it easy for me to give my commitment back. Commitment is like trust. It's a two-way road.
Correct.
So if your coach doesn't commit to you, then you as a client can never commit to your coach. You'll cheat, you'll do everything outside the gym. But seeing your level of commitment and how much you were a part of my life outside the gym made so much of a difference to me I told you, and maybe people who have seen some of my former videos will know that, I've trained with 9 other coaches before you. You're the 10th. And I often say that you'll be the last, right? So the thing is, I've said to all those previous 9 coaches, this one thing: I'm not looking for a gym coach. I'm looking for a friend who can guide me. Yes, of course, I'm going to pay you for your services, but I'm looking for a friend who will guide me, which means that constant level of commitment and, that sort of bond. I want to create that with someone, because I realize that in order to achieve something that someone has and that they can share it with you, you need to get close to that person, and you need to spend more of your time with that person. And, then you can achieve something. Because let's say, for example, you want to become a millionaire, for example, and you spend half an hour talking to a millionaire, and you spend the rest of your day with friends spending money on like rubbish, right? You'll not become a millionaire. But if you're constantly with him, then you talk, you exchange ideas. You might get an idea that you might implement, or you can pitch an idea to him and he might correct you, or he might give you some valuable feedback. And that way your chances of becoming the millionaire improves. So same way, I had that feeling that, I want to be in constant touch with you. And I think as a coach, there's no coach that I know in this world who does that. Like, not just for me because I train with you directly, but for all of his clients. No coach goes out of his way to make like a Kaizen program. Or no gym, for example, even does it. Like, most gyms don't even know who the head is. Yeah. But here, why do people know who you are? Is because you are committing, you are in this, right? So TYB means Yasir Khan. People know that because you have a presence.
Yeah.
And that presence is what helps people. So that's why I feel like, you stand out from all of the other coaches and gym owners.
First of all, thank you so much for describing it so well. I think in these 3 years, yes, I do get involved with my clients a lot. I create programs, I create system, I train my team even to a certain level that I want them to take care of my clients the way I do personally, which is next to impossible, because that's not their fight. They are working, and they are working for money. They get their salary. But I'm very proud of my team that had reached to a certain level that they are paying so much attention, and they are involved to more than if you compare with any other gym. First of all, I don't want to compare, because everyone has their own struggle and everyone has their own setbacks. I think we have come far, and we are still improving, we are still learning, getting better. So first, thank you for describing that about me. In past 3 years, it took you, it was kind of a journey, not just your transformation. So what I'm going to say now is it's kind of a journey for you to come that close to me. And right now we are in Bali and we are spending 24/7 almost together. And we have a great connection. I think you are one of those people in my life, which I proudly call that you are not just a client. I don't call people friend. The reason I don't call them friend because the definition of friendships in today's time is very fake, and anyone can call anyone friend. And usually when they are free, when they have pastime, they meet their friends, or when they have problems, they meet their friends. But friends are not just for this. If I would say like anyone who is my friend, I would call you that you are my friend. And I think you are one of those very few 2 or 3 people who are my friend, I can say, if that is the definition, but not as the definition of friends, how people spend their time. They're eating shit, eating junk food, spoiling their time, wasting their time, smoking, taking all kind of stuff together and all that. And then they say like, we chill with friends. So I can never let my friend do something wrong. And I can see that it's destroying this person. So that's the reason, like, it's very contradicting to call someone friend. But in my definition, I would say you are. So it took you 3 years. So how's that journey?
So that journey has always been like, in the past 3 years, I'd say it's one of the highlights of my life. Like, because I've learned so much. And
Because I would say it's not easy to crack that inner circle. I do let people come in, but I don't let them stay.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for people to, you have seen many people came in my life, but it's very difficult for me to let them stay. The reason is not that they are bad people. The reason is I cannot lose my track. So I let people come in, but I stay the way I am. And the time I see like it's not adding any value to my journey, because I'm the one who is adding a lot of value to people's journey, people's making them better, because that's what my job is, one. Number two is like if they are coming close to me, it's even more, because this is what I do. So how did you crack that?
I feel, so one of the things, to begin with, I had a very similar ideology to you, like the way I think about it. The difference between you and me, as we have discussed many times, is that you act upon it. I just choose to procrastinate on it. So it's there in the mind. And because it's there in the mind, I feel like we connect at a very different level. Like the kind of conversation I can have with you, I cannot have with anyone else, right? Maybe Dia, because she's my wife and I share with her everything that's pertaining to my personal life. But, most people you talk with, there's always a filter. No matter how straightforward or however carefree you are, you will know that you will always apply some sort of a filter, minimal level. Yes, you try to get, like, for example, if I have to give you as an example, when you talk to me, if I'm doing something wrong, and when you talk to, let's say, one of your female clients, you use a different kind of a speech.
Completely.
So I feel that, with you, I can speak without filter. Even if I say some of the most stupid things at times, not everything I say is like brilliant, but I feel like you're a person who will understand and try to figure out why I said something stupid rather than be judgmental, right? You're trying to fix that. So I feel like that's very valuable. And you are right about friends. Nowadays the term is used very loosely, and even another term is used very loosely is brother. Everyone calls each other bro. What's a bro if he doesn't, lift you up, right? Or you're not growing together, right? You have many brothers in the world who are famous, who have, helped each other through thick and thin, and grown together. So that's what I always wanted, because I never had a real brother. So I always so I wanted to always find, and I'm very lucky to have found a couple. I don't try to make as many friends as possible. What I focus on is whoever I have in my life, I want to have a qualitative relationship with them, rather than know too many people but never be close to a person. Because I feel when you're close to a person, you can gel together really well and you can achieve greater things together. Otherwise, if you have many friends, then your activities will not be so great.
Correct.
Like the more friends you have, and you might notice this about people who party a lot, is that they have many friends. And many friends cannot do great things together. Because let's say if you have you and me and we want to struggle, we are more likely to agree to struggle. Like for example, today we had our first meal at 2 o'clock. It's very easy when there's just two of us, or even Kokul over here, three of us. It's very easy to align. But if we came as a group of like 20, or like friends, there will be at least 5-10 of them who are in conflict. Because they want to take the easier path. So I feel that is very important, to have fewer friends but quality friends.
Exactly.
And with your friends, you should be facing challenges. If you're not facing challenges, then how do you know this person is your friend?
Correct.
Right? Because only in the hard times will you know that this person is your friend. Now, most people who are my friends will know that I'm very bad at wishing birthdays. I'm not all of that. But when they are in trouble, I'm always there to help. Because I see that as, a true mark of friendship. I try my best to help. And this all boils down to like one story, like when I was in school. One of my friends called me late at night and I was sleeping. It was 3, 4. And he was out somewhere. He was intoxicated. He could not get home and everything. He was like, come pick me up. I was like, I don't even know where you are. And I was upset, obviously. And I cut the line and I went back to sleep. The next day in the morning, I called my mom to complain about like, what kind of idiot friend is this, right? And she said, the fact that of all people, he called you means he trusts you. In that situation, you could have done anything to him. But he trusts you in his weakest moment. You are the first person who came to mind, which is a privilege. So when anyone asks for help, try to offer it, if it is within your power. And that's also another thing I notice about you, So, yeah, pretty much this is how I feel about our journey and how we have grown so close.
Yeah, exactly. Once my sister called me, and she called me like, hi, bye, how are you? I was like, I'm good, thank you. You know what it is today? And I told her that, what it is this date, this day. She's like, think. And I was like, oh yeah. So I told her, I took my other sister's name, that it's her birthday. She cut the phone. I was like, hello. I thought like it's the line got cut. I called her back. She's like, I'm not talking to you anymore. It's like, what happened? Isn't it her birthday? She's like, it's my birthday. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm, to be honest, still I'm confused. When I have two sisters and which date is whose birthday? So but as I said, any issue in the family, I'm the first one they will call. Thank God, touch wood, alhamdulillah, I'm the capable one who can help them in any kind of situation. Be it anything, they know that I'm the one who's going to help. Be it first they call or be it last they call, if the situation is not resolved, they know that if it reaches to me, I will solve it at any cost. This is not their problem anymore. So I feel that's the thing I think with the people who are close to you and who you care about, instead of just telling them I love you, telling them I care about you, telling them you are my friend, you are my best friend, enjoying with them, partying with them, doing all good things, but they know actually not to call you when something is bad because you will not be there. So it's great. I think, yeah. So one thing which so this is something very unique concept which I started a couple of years ago, because that's what I have done to me while I was, pursuing my dreams, and be it competition, be it being on the cover page of magazines, fitness modeling, television, be it TYB, business, traveling, financials, whatever. And I always had, I set goals, I wrote goals, I had a vision, I followed I created like goal setting. I've worked with few people and kind of, align with my time management, worked on my time management. I did quite a lot of mirroring, shadowing, which is like another NLP based method, which I got to know later that I was actually shadowing, modeling some of my ideals, some of the people who I looked up to, and I literally, my life actually became like that. So all those methods which I started a couple of years ago in TYB with my clients that started doing their goal setting, started writing, asking them to write down their goals, and really made them set the end goal. Like when I met you, I did that with you. Your physique is going to be like Brad Pitt. And around nearly 1.5, 2 years ago, your physique actually became like Brad Pitt. And so what do you think about this kind of method and how successful it is, you think? And majority of my clients, I would say 100% of my clients who have seen amazing results, I have done this method. I've used this method, and it became quite popular. Many people started claiming that they can do the mind coaching, they can do the goal setting, which everyone who have copied, I have not seen a single results, which is that phenomenal and that big change. Yes, I have seen 5, 6, 10 kgs results with many trainers, but whoever have copied, they could not achieve because it required a lot of work along with the client. I worked along with them. So what do you think, and how would you describe it? How would you differentiate this method and the way I do it with other trainers, or, with, I'm not talking about just fitness, but anyone else, because you are someone who is highly educated. You have studied in different countries. You have been to the best school in India. You have been to the best university in Canada. Even in Dubai, in the UAE, have lived in Abu Dhabi. Your father is one of the most successful businessmen. You are doing very well. You're married, you're successful, be it work-wise, you're doing very well, be it family-wise. So I think you are someone who has seen a lot. And now when it comes to psychological point about this concept which I started, which I'm doing, and which is very successful still in today's time, some of my clients, they could have never thought that they would achieve results like this, which the results which I made them write down, be it Nigi, Punji, you, Dia, Sneha, anyone, you take any name, the people, Ali, Khalid, that I made them write down their end goal in the first meeting when they met me, and they achieved it. And these are the fastest achiever, by the way. The people who did not believe in it, they are still struggling after many years. And you guys are the fastest achiever, like that impossible goal. So how did that happen, and how would you describe it? Maybe that psychologically, because I'm the one who's creating it, I'm the one who is helping it, but as a follower, as someone who actually followed it, this method, how would you describe it? Because it's not just you, it's also, I think Prakash did it, Dia did it, and Vijay did it from your side.
Yes.
These people have all achieved to the point, the right mark, what I set for them, and crazy physique, amazing physique. So I think you have different examples in front of you to actually tell me and explain this method and how did this happen and why it's so unique, so that the viewers actually get to know, not from that I am saying it, but from someone who actually who knows it from different point of view.
Yeah. So I think, as you mentioned, there are many people who lay out their goals, and you're one of them who does it with your client. You sit them down, you make them plan out their goals, and you list all the different milestones.
Yeah.
But the most important thing you do is that you actually follow up, because you can always write a goal. A goal, I can tell you a goal right now, but if I don't follow up on that goal, right, I will never achieve it. So let's say, for example, in my own example, the goal was to, lose around 35, 36 kilos in about 6 months. So it was a very realistic goal. That's number one. You weren't, trying to sell, which, I mean, I'm not going to talk bad about other businesses, but some businesses or some things on the internet, they tell you 6 packs in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And they sell it as a course, as if it's one size fit all. So a guy who is maybe 90 kilos is buying the same package, 6 packs in 6 weeks. A guy who's 200 kilos is also going to get 6 pack in 6 weeks. And we all know how how stupid that sounds when we actually say it out loud. And I always believed, and this is one of the first things, that when we were sitting together, and especially wives, they tend to be a lot more economical. And she was like, let's take the 50 classes. And I was like, you'll not achieve it, because I have kind of been on a weight loss journey before I met you, and I know it is difficult, and you just need to be consistent and have a delayed gratification, the ability to delay your gratification. So I wanted a coach who was honest with me and who would follow up with me throughout my journey to ensure that I reached it, right? Most coaches, they will tell you, they'll hold you and they'll show you there's the finish line. But you walked with me throughout the entire way. And every, let's say if it's a 1 kilometer finish line, every 100 or 200 meters, we celebrated together. We went out for cheat meals. We celebrated. And honestly, it wasn't even about the cheat meal. Yeah. It was just the feeling of, how happy I was feeling because of the results, right? And even you told me this, that, if I eat unhealthy, even the things I love, if I eat unhealthy, the very second after I finish eating, I will feel a huge guilt. I will feel bad, right? But those cheat meals, which came once a month, right? After losing 8 kilos a month, 6 kilos a month in the earlier days, those cheat meals felt so amazing. It felt like I deserved it, And even though I didn't want it, and I was totally capable of skipping it. And in fact, if you remember the very first cheat meal I had with you, I was so into the zone because of the level of commitment you gave me. And you asked me where did I want to go cheat, and I said, I don't care. You pick the place.
Yeah.
Right?
We went to Five Guys.
We went to Five Guys, which is one of your favorite places.
Yeah.
So it's that level of, the commitment that comes from you, how much you invest yourself in your client, and how much you keep a track of their goals, how much you engage with them so that they're constantly, aware or constantly thinking about their goals and constantly reminded. Because we all have goals, right, in life, whether you write it down or whether I write it down, or even if we don't write it down, in the back of our minds, we always have goals.
Right.
The only thing is we're not always conscious about it. So it definitely helps when there is someone who is aligned with you, because that person will remind you. And if that person does not remember, then you remind him.
Yeah.
It's always if you have a group of 5 people who want to achieve the same thing together, if 1 or 2 people are not constantly thinking about it, the other person will remind him. And then on some other days, the group will keep reminding each other and moving forward. So I felt that is what kind of helped me in a way to achieve. And it was very straightforward. There was no empty promises from you. You were like, okay, in month 1, you achieve this, we're going to have the cheat meal together. So I knew that there were very clear targets to a much larger goal. If you were just like, Aaron, it's going to take you 8 months to lose 36 kilos or 6 months to lose 36 kilos, and you left it at that, I don't think I would have ever achieved it, because it would look like such an impossible feat.
We were actually following up every week.
Every week,
we had a go. Many times you did not lose any weight and you were upset. And I think, I said, just show up, come to gym and I will talk to you. And you were not ready to actually accept that you have lost the battle, kind of a thing. You did not gain anything in that means. You did not lose weight. That's a gain. But when I met you, I made you understand, and I think you just continued from there. When I sat with you first time, I just want to know about that meeting, because as I said, if I will say anything, viewers will not understand that much, that someone who have experienced it, not just with you, but with other people also you have experienced, because those people came from you. How important is that first meeting when I'm sitting and asking about the goals, creating goal setting, literally month by month, and then having those meetings? How important are those meetings? And it's not that easy to sit with me on the table and discussing the goals, because I don't just write down your numbers, the kgs, but also I work on your habits, good habits, bad habits. And you can't lie, because the reason you can't lie, you can, but the reason you can't lie, because it's showing on your body.
Yeah,
how would you lie?
You can't hide it. So I think the very first meeting, and again, I have to, I'm sorry about this, but I have to make comparisons to, other coaches, is that everyone has a preference. Everyone, all right? So some people want to, body build. Some people like aesthetic. Some people like strongman physique.
Yeah.
Some people like lean. Some people like athletic. Some people, and everyone who has their preference usually likes to impose it on whoever they take under their umbrella.
Yeah.
Right? My body preference, and your body type. You know that my body preference is, or my goals are very different. And you actually, without me even saying, said that, do you want a body like Brad Pitt? And that was exactly the picture I showed Dia last night. The exact same picture.
Yeah.
Last night. So you understood my goal.
So
it wasn't about me achieving your goal. It was me achieving my goals, which makes it.
Before you met me, you have shown this picture to Dia, and then the next day you came and met me. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
And you said the exact same picture, Brad Pitt from Fight Club, from same movie and everything. And I just looked at Dia. I sometimes still think Dia told it to you secretly.
She did.
Because I was like,
I've never
how in the world did he guess of all the physiques that are out there? And there are many good physiques in the world.
Yeah.
And each of them are beautiful in their own, like, like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Sylvester.
each of them are, they're all different but beautiful. Like, how did you guess that this was the physique just from my description? And it also made me feel that, okay, this is a guy who doesn't want me to achieve what he wants me to achieve. He wants me to achieve what I want to achieve. So it's like, it's something that's working in my benefit, which kept me motivated. See, one of the things, especially in the workforce, why do people don't give it their 100% to work for a boss or something, or an owner of a company? It's because the owner wants you to achieve his goals, right? So it's always hard to stay focused on trying to help someone fulfill their dreams. That's something you do, which is fantastic. But not everyone can do that. But if your owner, shows you how you can achieve your goals simultaneously while working with him, the owner of your company, sorry, not your owner, but the boss of your company, then you might be more incentivized to achieve that goal, which will in turn also mutually benefit him. Like when I achieved my goal, it benefited you.
Yeah.
Right? And you allowing me to achieve my goal benefited me as well. So obviously I kept trying to achieve my goal because I know that this is actually what I want. One of the things that really helped me apart from this is, I never argued with you in the beginning.
On the numbers and all that.
And me and you, I don't think we have had any arguments. Yes, we have had some tough love where, I needed to be told something, but it's not that I ever back answered you.
Yeah. First of all, you have invested your time. Second, you have invested your money. And 3 is you're actually working very hard. You're investing your energy. Now, in which world would you not listen to this person when this person wants the best for you? That's all he wants, the best for you. If you don't trust, all these 3 things is the waste you have done already. You have wasted it. So why are you with that person if you don't trust that person? So that's what I expect from clients, that trust me.
Like, yes, on that lines, that's what I was going to basically get to. I was going to say that just trust, because if I know better, and I have quite a lot of knowledge, as you know, and you say it many times. I mean, I will not say it to myself, but from what you say I have a lot of knowledge. And I try to keep that all aside because the fact of the matter is, the reality, the truth is, you have a physique and I don't. So if you're telling me something, even with all my knowledge or anything, even sometimes I might think, okay, this didn't make a lot of sense in my head, right? I will still give your explanation the more priority because you have reached it,
And given results as well.
and given results to people. So why should there be any reason that I should not completely trust and follow what you say, right? For example, you have some sort of liver problem and you go to the doctor and while he's operating you, he's like, okay, we need to do this. Obviously you'll be under anesthetic and passed out, but let's just assume that you're awake for the whole procedure and you can't feel the pain because he's giving you local anesthetic, but you can see what he's doing. And he's like, okay, I need to cut this part out. We'll be like, no, doctor, cut here. Right? Or if you go to a car mechanic right? And he says, okay, we need to fix this. And no, I think you need to fix the AC.
Yeah.
He's like, no, the engine is not running. No, just fix the AC. You will never argue. So why, when you never argue with other experts, right?
Yeah.
Do people argue with a gym coach?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, most coaches will never get to argue with their clients because they're not invested that way and not constantly, pricking the conscience of clients to reply in a way that could, trigger them or make them self-aware of their own shortcomings. Right? Like, I've trained with many coaches and maybe 4, 5, 6 months, 0 results. They never question me. Right? But if they did question me, like how you question me, it will trigger something in me because I know that there's a truth to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you are highlighting my own stupidity to me. So the natural tendency for most people is to fight back. But why should I fight back when I know I'm wrong?
On this, did you notice in past 3 years, so many of my clients came, they got good results. So many of people who actually came to join me as trainers, some of my friends who so-called friends, they joined me to work with me. They all were not fit and whole their life they have not been in good shape. But right after joining me, everyone is in shape. Everyone have transformed and they are actually working as fitness professionals now. The point is that they face the truth.
Yes.
Because till now, no one ever told them the truth. After meeting me, I'm the only person who says like, this you will not eat in the office, or you cannot look like this. If you're working in TYB, you're working for me, you cannot be fat, you cannot be overweight, how it's going to impact clients. And A to Z, from the top to bottom, everyone, they all get to hear that from me. They don't like it, they leave working in TYB, but they have transformed. And they will never accept that, actually, first time in our life, someone told the truth.
Yeah.
And that's what ignited this transformation journey. And you can see, you know the people, they all came in front of you and you can see that how different they are living today.
Yeah.
After they have worked 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years in other companies, other places. But the owner or the CEO or the manager, whoever was their boss, they never told them the truth because they never wanted them to become better. Because if they became better, this is what they would have done.
Yeah.
And that's what they have done.
Yes.
Same thing they have done to me. But that's not my insecurity.
Yes.
Because I don't care if people leave. Trust me, genuinely, neither I care about clients that they leave, nor I care about the people who are working for me, they leave. The reason I don't, because that's not my goal, to hold people because if I'm holding clients, if they're not getting results, what am I getting? Just money.
Yeah, just money.
If people are working for me and if they are not in good shape, if they're not fit, and if what they're projecting in front of clients, what image they're creating of me and my company or my brand and my lifestyle is something else entirely. And I don't want them to stay with me.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's the reason today they have transformed. So whenever I have interacted with you, it's always a mind coaching. Like whenever we interact, it's always like this morning we were discussing some key points when it comes to being in the moment. How much you think like that mind coaching actually helped you in your day-to-day life? Because you are completely a different person, not just physically, but psychologically in past 3 years. How much those discussions in mind coaching has actually helped you?
The mind coaching, I think, it's one of the very rare things about your program that you included in your program, that you offer mind coaching. And I think it's the most critical element of anything. I mean, if you have to achieve anything in life, be it fitness, you first need to align your mind towards it. And so the fact that you have incorporated that in all of your programs, regardless what package any of your clients have taken, there is always that level of mind coaching that's there. And basically trying to correct a person's mind is a lot harder because the mind is such a complex thing. It's such a complex part of your body, the brain. But, attempting to correct that. And in many cases, you have made such an impact on people's mind, not just mine, a lot of people's minds. It is actually so phenomenal. Like, it's one of the things that a lot of people, it actually made me in my personal life try to use this skill to help people as well. Try to get their mind in track, because when the mind is in track, then the body follows.
Exactly. Body is a slave to your mind.
Your body is just slave to your mind. Like, your mind is so quick, For example, the act of cheating, right? The act of cheating is maybe takes 5-10 minutes. How long it takes for me to eat a pizza or something, it'll take 5-10 minutes. But the decision to cheat is less than even a second.
Yeah.
And that's how dangerous your mind is, right? That's how potent it is.
Correct.
Your mind being so dangerous can result in you going out for a night of drinks which might last for 3-4 hours. But the decision to say yes and go out for a drink is 1 second.
1 second.
So this mind is an enemy that doesn't give you any time to even think, because you can't think. It is your mind. It's giving you the thoughts. So learning how to, treat your mind as actually a separate entity. And I think that's what you do with your mind coaching.
Yeah.
Like, you teach people to have conflict with their own mind, to fight with the natural urges that they have, and to question what they're thinking, to question their mind, right? And the very act of questioning your mind helps so much, because as I explained, your mind gives you these horrible ideas in a split second.
Yeah.
But by questioning your mind, you're slowing it down.
Yeah.
You might not be successful, forget about the success part, but at least by questioning your mind, you have extended that process in which your mind caves in.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something that you have taught me. And for example, if I want to go out for a night of drinks and my mind, immediately I just say yes out of habit or whatever, I will go out and I will spend 3 hours or 4 hours doing the absolute wrong thing for my body, for my physical goals, what I want to achieve. And that's because, again, the mind worked in less than a second and I caved in. Even for another split second, I say, do I really need to do this?
Yes.
Now that question, the time I said, do I really need to do this, was already 2-3 seconds added to it. Because when you converse with your mind, you realize that you slow things down.
Yeah.
And when you slow things down, you definitely do a lot better decisions. Like today we played chess, for example.
Yeah.
And actually you're improving a lot, I must say. You must have noticed that towards the later parts or the later games that we were playing, there were a lot of times where I would play quickly and there were a lot of times that I would play slowly.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's because when you're in doubt and you're trying to make the right move, you will always think slower.
Yeah.
But anything that's impulsive can always be a bad decision, has the chance of being a bad decision. So it's so important to slow down your mind, because temptations are so quick. You're so easily able to cave into your temptations, because it's what you want to hear.
100%.
So
I think what you just said, that what I do, the way I train people, and the mind is so complex. It is. Now I tell you, I think this is the first time that I am speaking about it on camera. So when you or anyone who joins me for their transformation, they make that decision consciously.
correct.
But the lifestyle is based on subconscious, on your subconscious mind. So you are there in front of me, you're talking to me, you have come to join, and you know that you will spend hundreds of thousands and millions of dirhams and dollars everywhere in the world, but this little fees will be too much for you, because consciously you're thinking, but you want to join, right? Subconsciously, 10 times more you're spending on drinks, and your body shows that how much money you have spent on your body.
Yes.
That's why you're overweight. That's why the lifestyle you have, because lifestyle is in your subconscious mind. So what is the lifestyle? You do things unknowingly. It's not like you come home, switch on the TV. You don't decide to do it.
Yeah.
You switch on the TV, you start scrolling your social media, one after another reels. That's subconscious mind. And you will regret it. You will not like it. You will be very upset about it. You will not sleep on time. You will not wake up on time. After eating this food, you will not feel good. After going to this party, and the most complex thing, that after being surrounded by these particular people, you are going to feel horrible. You will still go, you will still spend time with them, and you will feel horrible. You will still feel horrible. Why all that happen? And you are aware that these people are not good for you. These activities are not good for you. This kind of lifestyle is not good for you, because if it was good, first of all, at very first, you would not have come to me.
Yes.
You made a conscious decision to come, but subconscious is your lifestyle, and that is what decide what you're going to do throughout the day after you go. My kind of fight, as much as I care about my clients, the more I care about my clients, the more difficult it is for me to deal with their subconscious mind. That's why I have just this extra kind of love or extra care for people who are extra heavy, or whose lifestyle is just not at all good, because I feel like it's challenge to me. Number one. Number two, I feel bad for them. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just surrounded by these people. It's just the system, is the community, is that's how the upbringing is. These are the habits. Because I respect those people who have come to me consciously, and I want to change because that's the reason they have come. But it's just their subconscious mind is not going to let them change this lifestyle. And I want to help. First, I start with their conscious mind. So when you're meeting, when you're joining, I will trigger your conscious mind first. Make you do this goal setting consciously. I will talk to you and make you visualize your goal consciously. But as you meet me every day, as you talk to me more often, that's the reason I have created, because we have, alhamdulillah, many clients. That's the reason I have started Kaizen program, so that I can stay in touch with you every day, right? So because I take very few people in Kaizen, so that I can, how much time can I give to people? There's a limited time. So I stay in touch with them, because I know that now my work starts, once you have joined, now my work starts to train your subconscious to change the way you think.
Subconscious.
That's the reason. Now tell me 1 to 10. 3 years ago, your lifestyle when it comes to your surrounding, how much that has changed? 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest.
I think when it comes to my surrounding, when I met you, my surrounding would have been maybe 2.
And now?
Now I would say it's like 7.5, 8.
8. Very good. Which is very good. And 3 years time, which is like your 80 to 90% life has changed. Your surrounding has changed, which is a big thing. Now, 1 to 10, when it comes to self-talk, how much that has changed?
Self-talk? I think, I've always been an introspective person. So for me, it's been, I wouldn't say that change has been that much. It's like maybe I was 8, but now, today, as of today, I would say it's 10, because we are focusing in the present.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more mindful. Every second, I'm like questioning myself.
Fine.
So for me, the problem was never the self-talk. It was more about applying it in reality.
That's what my next question is.
Yes.
Implementation, 1 to 10, since you have joined me.
I was 0 before, because otherwise I would not be so heavy. If I even had 1, I would be moving in a positive direction.
And now?
Ever so slowly. Now I would say like I'm about like 6. There is still a lot for me to improve when it comes to implementation.
Again, you are 34 years old.
Yeah.
You will turn 35. And it took me just 3 years, where 1 year you were not even there with me.
Yes.
Basically 1.5 year, 2 years time, and 60% of your implementation.
Yes.
So basically, I've done a better job than your schools and your college and your university.
Absolutely.
And these are the best ones in the world.
Absolutely.
That's what I started talking. Best ones in the world, and I have done a better job in that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. You being mindful about your close people and guiding them or teaching them the right path, how much that has changed? 1 to 10. Because something you need. Yes.
How much that's changed me, or how much I've changed?
No. How much that has changed in you, that how much you are mindful about the people around you, then you want them to pick the right path. You want them to do the right thing. So you are more responsible. That's very important.
So I'll say my method of changing other people has also changed, where my commitment or my effort starts out from a very low value. Before, it used to be very high. I used to put in my entire heart and soul into helping a person, literally, getting into their lives, pulling them out, making them stop, try to make them stop bad habits and everything. But I've come to realize that this has to come from within.
Yeah.
It has to come from within a person. It has to be conscious. So now what I do, if I do help anyone, which is very rare, because you don't find a lot of people who are living in the conscious.
Yeah.
Most people are on autopilot, in subconscious.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I say.
So in order to understand who I'm dealing with, as long as you're conscious, even the smallest effort, you will notice it. Even the smallest effort. But if you're subconscious, it will just glance,
Correct.
right? Like you will not even pay attention to it. So I give that small effort and I see if it has triggered anything in that person. And then I decide, okay, yes, I will invest more and more and more. But until I see that first move from that person, then I cannot be sure whether he's in his conscious or whether he's still subconscious or she's still subconscious, living in the subconscious. So then I don't really waste my time in that, because time is precious. Of course, had I been focused on myself, right, I would have been in a much better place than I am today.
Correct.
In a physical, in many other aspects.
Yes.
Right, because as you said, I was very close to achieving my goal as Brad Pitt. Now, what if I had achieved that
Like
goal?
90% there.
Yes.
10% was left.
Yes. So what if I achieved that final 10%, and let's say I maintained it more or less up till today, and by more or less I mean to say that, of course, you cannot never maintain.
Yeah.
I will improve, but in a very gradual way. It is no longer as drastic as when I first joined you.
Yes.
So what happens to all that free time I have, right? And I'm in the correct mindset. I would have achieved better things in my other aspects of life. By letting go of my fitness, not only have I destroyed my own fitness, and now I have to rework on myself to achieve that Brad Pitt body, but I also sidetracked all my other goals, which I had in my mind.
So you have become more and more mindful when it comes to your journey and how much you're going for people. One more thing. This question is, since you have trained with 9 coaches before, right? And the level of commitment, what was yours.
Yeah.
That's the reason you have come to me.
Yeah, man.
So since you have joined me through mind coaching, the level of commitment, your level of commitment from 1 to 10. 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest.
Since I've joined you, my level of commitment, I would say, when I joined you, I would have to speak of my previous experience, right? And my previous coach. My level of commitment was maybe -2. Right?
-2.
Not even 0, because I was getting worse.
And now?
Right? Now I would say my level of commitment is like, at this very moment, it's a 10.
10.
Yeah, it's a 9. I mean, you have to be the judge of that. You're the coach.
You have to say, between 9 to 10.
You have to see, and you have to let me know as a coach.
Because I think 9 to 10.
Not for me to decide.
Yeah.
But in my head, I am prepared to give a 10. Like, no questions asked. Like,
as compared to your previous one.
Yes.
As compared to that. So now it's your 10. Wow. That's amazing, man. I think the mind coaching, which I have done and which you have followed, which actually helped you, which is, I think, all these 4 or 5 questions which I have asked you, this is the result of what we have been doing. And I said, like, 1 year you were not there. And that too, when your wife was pregnant, you were blessed with a daughter. So that's like, you were supposed to be not there. And I mean, you were supposed to be there, to be honest, but it's okay. You have achieved much more in life in that 1 year. That's personal level. But 2 years and this much you have achieved when it comes to you and your level of commitment, your level of mindfulness, your level of responsibility, your level of self-talk, everything. So what advice would you give to the viewers when it comes to the mind coaching and how they should take it when they join TYB?
What I've gathered from what you have taught through your mind coaching program is that we have 2 states of mind, our conscious and our subconscious, right? Most of us live in the subconscious mind, and that is because it's the natural tendency of the mind to make everything. What are habits? Habits are subconscious, right? The word exists because there is a subconscious mind. And the tendency of the human state is to always try to relegate things to the subconscious mind so that life becomes easier. Like you are in track, right? Like in whatever track, whether be a good track or a bad track. But being aware of reality means you have to be in the conscious. You cannot be in the subconscious, right? What I learned from your mind coaching is that as much as possible, always try to be in your conscious mind so that you improve. And when you improve, these habits eventually become your subconscious. But it never stops. Why? Because, for example, I'm here to improve on my conscious mind, to improve my subconscious.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
That's like a safe.
But so are you.
Yeah.
But we are here, like, let's say if physical fitness is one of the goals of this trip, your subconscious mind is a much powerful subconscious mind than my subconscious mind, right? But we are both working on it because it can always be better.
Yeah.
So it's
Can
very
never
important.
stop.
Yeah, it's very important, not just for me, but even for someone with a six-pack to always be in their conscious mind.
Who said this? Epictetus?
Which one?
Until you live, learn how to live better. Epictetus?
Yes,
Seneca.
I think so.
Or Epictetus, I think. That's the thing. So because it's the subconscious. So that's your advice for people to constantly like
Always
learn
be.
and improve their mind.
Yes.
And that's what I have noticed. The people who don't believe in that, I have not seen them achieving their results as well.
Yeah.
So what is your take on this? Like the people should, because they can't see the mind coaching. They need to feel it.
They need to.
So what is your take on this?
I think one of the things we did today is, we did meditation early in the morning. And what is meditation? It's basically forcing your mind to be in the conscious state.
Yeah.
Right? It's basically you're practicing how to stay in the conscious state for as much as you can.
Yeah.
And actually in today's generation, on today's time, we know that a lot of people, they have a lot of focus disorders, right? I mean, we don't, put it on paper because if we have to, then we have to put it for everyone.
Yeah.
Because people can't retain their focus for more than 8 seconds. That's why shorts are so popular, and all these social media apps, it's all these short videos with 8 seconds. So I saw an article, I didn't read the full article, but basically the title was something like this: a goldfish has 8 seconds of memory or focus. A modern day human has 7. So we have worse attention span than a goldfish. And we know that the goldfish has no memory. So that's where we're headed. And I think that practicing how to always stay in your conscious mind, always be in the present, be mindful of the present, means you are in the conscious state of being, is so important. And one of the examples I can give, since we are on a trip, is that, have you ever driven from your home to your work, TYB, or driven from anywhere to a place that you've driven to frequently, like a supermarket or a place you go to quite often? Do you remember each and every single drive, each and every lane you took, each and every... No, because again, driving is a very risky thing, you can meet in an accident, but your brain is so powerful, it even pushes that activity into your subconscious.
Exactly.
Right? But here, in a trip in Bali, when the situation is new, when the environment is new, you cannot drive subconsciously here.
Exactly.
You have to be conscious. And when you're conscious, you notice a lot more things. Like yesterday, I noticed that, okay, this guy was sitting here and she's still here.
Yeah.
And okay, this signboard we saw here, so we know where we are at. Is because we are in the conscious state of mind in a new environment. So another great tip for improving your conscious state of mind is to always change your environment.
Yeah.
Don't always be in the same environment. Don't be in, and you say it, comfort zone.
Comfort zone. Don't be in your comfort.
Because if you're in your comfort zone, then your brain can go on autopilot.
Exactly. Because, you're very well protected.
Yes.
And you will never take any risk. And if you will not take risk, you will not do anything consciously.
Yes.
Because comfort, and when it's comfort provided by the close ones, family, friends, whoever, you're very well protected.
Absolutely.
And you will never take the risk over there.
Yes.
So that's why coming out of your comfort zone is very important. And of course, joining TYB and facing me and facing the mind coaching and doing the goal setting with me is taking risk. And you have to do that. Anyway, thank you so much, Aaron. I think you have explained this very well. Thank you.
Thank you.